Easton Borman steps in for this face-off. He's going to win it over to the near wall here, where it's going to be picked up now by, looks like number 14, Noah Welch. He's pulled down. Welch sticks with it, still has this puck. He's going to send it up to Sawyer Phillips now. Phillips headmans this up ahead to Gaworski, deflects off his stick. It's going to be CJ Nanavais. It's going to lead the rush now. Here in comes CJ. CJ tries to move it over back door to Brooks. Doesn't get through, though, as Sawyer Phillips is going to come down. Covering the point was Borman to send it deeper into the offensive zone. Behind the net now. Pressure's going to be applied. Bay State's going to come out here with a 3-on-2. Gaworski gets back to cancel that out. It goes off the stick of Welch over here to the near wall. Welch sticks with it as Boyle tries to pull it off the wall. He pulls down Sawyer Phillips, nothing called. As Welch is going to come over to pressure his man. Goes through the slot, cleaned up nicely by CJ Nanavais. Over to Sawyer Phillips, tried to hit Brooks Gaworski, goes behind him now as it's going to go back into the Penn's offensive zone as Bay State is going to regroup here. And it comes back into the neutral zone. Welch is going to swing this pass over to Brooks Gaworski off of his stick and back to Bay State as they're going to carry it back into the offensive zone. It's going to be Easton Borman that takes it away, swings it up to Gaworski. Gaworski dumps it in. The Pens are going to go for a change, as it's going to be brought back by number 21. It goes off the netting and out of play. So it looks like a neutral zone face-off coming up here. 1-1 the score after the 2 first period goals, one for each team, where Bay State was able to cash in on a breakaway before Blake Paris drew it even late in the first period. So we are now at the 6:50 mark. Second period action, 1-1 the score. Neutral zone face-off here as Bay State had a man ahead of the play. Offsides call here from the quarterfinal round of the 2025 Buffalo Cup, as it's going to be pushed back into the Pens D zone here, picked up by number 7. That's Nico Stark. Stark swings it behind to his D partner. That's right-handed defenseman number 43, Grant Loya. Pushed ahead by Ferguson as Wilson tries to pick up the pocket of the Bay State, and he does. They have a 2-on-1 developing. Wilson's going to bring this wide. He's got Paris back door, doesn't move it to him. He's going to still hang on to the puck. Delays, goes to Stark at the point. Shot taken, deflects down in off the skate, the right skate of netminder number 39. But it was as they're going to call a high stick here, but having a discussion here, both of the officials, they're confused on who had the high stick on that puck. It actually looked like a Bay State player. So they're saying an inadvertent whistle. Play should have continued here, so it's going to be an offensive zone face-off here. The Pens doesn't come out of the zone because it hit off of Bay State's defender, number 24. It's going to go back into the Pens D zone here in a foot race. Blake Parrish wins that on a nice back check. He's knocked down, as it's going to go behind the net now, where centerman Easton Borman's going to push it over to the near wall now. He gets a good stick on it, tries to push it further. It comes back to the point man, number 9. Who's content to just dump it down the wall. And it's going to be Grant Loya that picks it up off the stick of Connor Wilson. Wilson follows it along, unable to push it out of the zone right now. Sticks with it and gets it. Comes back to center. It's dumped right back in to Nico Stark. Still in the neutral zone, now in the skates of a couple players. It's Borman that finds it. He's going to come in now. He's going to bounce out the right side. Good power move there to protect that puck. Just forgets the puck along the way, as Wilson's knocked down here. It's going to come back to the point where number 9's trying to push it out of the zone, but good back check there by Owen Mulligan. But Bay State's going to bring it in here. They're going to try and bring it on wide on 14. Welch. He gets a stick into a man. It's going to go behind the net now. In a battle here on the half wall. It's going to be Riker Ferguson that comes out of there with it. He's going to wind it up, send it up to Noah Welch. He's got Mulligan ahead. He goes up to Mulligan. Got Bigham Green coming off the bench now. Pens have a 3-on-2 developing. Mulligan's going to bring it down, tries to move it to Green. Green stops it up for Fergie. Fergie backhands it over the right pad of netminder number 39. A 3-on-2 develops on the Transition into the neutral zone. Riker Ferguson puts it over the right pad and netminder number 39. And it's in the back of the net. 2-1's the score. 4:41 to go in the second period. And the Pens get their first lead of the game. Riker Ferguson from Bingham Green and Owen Mulligan. That same line still out here. They're looking for more. Fergie's going to go to the bench here as number 19's trying to get around Welch. Welch gets a stick on it to deflect it as it comes all the way back to Wyatt Frankenfield here, who's going to use the net as a shield, goes behind Dragicic. And he tries to move it up to number 19. That's Bingham Green. He's battling for this puck here. He's going to come cover the point. As shot taken off the skate of Dragicic and wide of the net. Welch is going to move it up to Bingham Green. As Bay State narrowly escapes an offsides call here as it goes behind the net to Welch. Welch is going to rim this around to the right point off of the stick of Mulligan, who's in a foot race now to get to this puck. Defender here for Bay State falls down as it comes back into the Pens D zone. Wyatt Frankenfield leaves it for Borman. Borman sends it over to Welch. He's got Sawyer Phillips up ahead. Welch is going to skate this up. Welch is going to come wide here. He's going to continue to skate, tries a centering pass, but the Pens were going for a change. Goes off the glove of Sawyer Phillips. Phillips is going to take this further and throws it wide in the neutral zone as Bay State's going to come back in here on the attack, but he's forced to the wall by a couple of Pens. Among them was number 77, CJ Nenevisa. Now has the puck, deflects off of a couple guys as we have a battle going on here between Gaworski and a couple of Bay State players as it goes behind the net. Welch is going to pick this up. He's going to headman it up to Sawyer Phillips. Phillips up to Gaworski, and the Pens are on the transition into the offensive zone. Gaworski works around one guy, can't get around the second though, as number 9 trying to catch the Pens in a D-zone change here. Unable to do so as Loya is able to recover and get to this puck. He curls back nicely to create some room. Still skating with the puck. Moves it over to left-handed defenseman CJ Nenevisa off of his equipment up to Sawyer Phillips. Unable to move it along further though on that clearing attempt. As we approach 2:30 to go here in the second period of the quarterfinal round, as it goes off the backhand, and number 3, that's Sawyer Phillips. Phillips to Gaworski. Phillips is going to drive the net strong as Gaworski stops up. He's run into by a couple of Bay State players. As Bay State's going to come out of here with the 2-on-1. Loya's trying to cancel this out. Good stick by Nico Stark to break up that play. It's going to be stick now here to the far corner as coming up the half wall now is number 45, Brooksy Gaworski. Gaworski headmans the puck up to Sawyer Phillips though. Collapsing on him were 3 Bay State players freshly off the bench is Riker Ferguson. I should say going to a change now is Riker Ferguson, who dumps it down as Easton Borman now on at center. Trying to hold it here on the wall. Comes to Wyatt Frankenfield, deflects off a couple of guys. He was trying to get it deep. It's going to be punched along further by Nico Stark. But out of the zone is going to be carried as Stark stops up his man. And he moves it to Connor Wilson. Wilson's going to try to come in. He's hooked up. He's trying to dance around a couple guys. Wilson takes a shot. Pad save there by the netminder. Centering attempt. Goes through everybody all the way back up to the point. Nico Stark has it. He brings it down Wall Street. He finds it on his tape again off the left shoulder of the netminder. Still loose. Goes back to the point man. Easton Borman, long shot taken. Deflects wide of the net. Paris is trying to stick with this as Borman applies some pressure here. It's going to come out of the zone. Wyatt Frankenfield, he regroups. Penn's looking to transition right back to the offense as Frankenfield falls down. As a battle is going on right in front of the Penguin bench as Frankenfield's going to come out of there with the puck. He loses it though as Bay State's going to dance around Nico Stark. Long shot goes behind the net. It's going to be a clearing attempt there by number 25 Blake Parrish. Pushes it back to center as number 73 Bay State defender wheels it in off the stick of a Penguin player and onto the stick of number 7 Nico Stark. 22 is going to wheel this all the way back down. Icing initially is going to be called. It's going to be waved off. As on the half wall now, centerman Easton Borman gets the motor going. He dances around a couple of guys. He's pulled down. Nothing's going to be called here as Connor Wilson now picks it up. He's got a couple guys back door. But that's going to do it here for the second period. Pens are able to collect the sole goal of that frame. 2-1 the score, as we're going to have 12 minutes on the clock. Third period action will be picking up here momentarily. Set a reset. Bay State able to cash in on a breakaway goal in the first period before Blake Paris drew things even. And then it was Riker Ferguson in the second period frame that gave the Pens the lead off of a feed from Bingham Green and Owen Mulligan. And that's what has us 2-1 here from Buffalo's 2025 Buffalo Cup. And we'll be back in a moment. Third period puck drop here is underway. As 11:57 in counting, it's going to be number 19, Bingham Green, tosses this into the Pens offensive zone. It's going to come past the stick of Noah Walsh at the point, but over to recovers number 77, CJ Nanavisa. Nanavisa moves it to Mulligan. Mulligan up to Bingham Green now. Bingham Green's going to be pushed down, and he's pushed into the back of the legs of another guy, and he goes down. Bodies falling everywhere here on this shift as it's going to be brought back to center. Sawyer Phillips on the back check. Welch is going to come over. It's going to be just rimmed behind everybody. As a puck battle here between Fergie and his man. Welch is going to try and battle to get this puck free. It comes to Ferguson now. Bingham Green goes down. As Sawyer Phillips is going to lead the rush here. He delays, gets behind. Sawyer Phillips puts it in. He showed some great patience there, stopped, let the defender go by him, curled it back in, and it goes behind netminder number 39 for the Pens' third goal of the game. Sawyer Phillips with the PPG goal. 3-1's the score, 11:05 to go here from the quarterfinal round of the 2025 Buffalo Cup, as the Pens were seated sixth for winning their division. There were 6 division winners. They're taking on the number 3 seed, the Bay State Breakers, as the Pens are looking for more. Pretty similar rankings here for these two teams, as the Pens been floating around the 9 spot all year, and Bay State around the 10 and 11 spot. They've been back and forth a couple times, as Bay State's going to bring it in, as they're going to try and deflect it off the equipment to drag a stick. He covers up initially. Boyle, number 87, big-bodied centerman for Bay State, tries to push it free. As the whistle blows, and then it poked here, free in the crease. D-zone draw to the right of Max. Taking this against Boyle's number 93, Riker Ferguson. Boyle's going to win this and push it towards the net off the left skate of Nico Stark, right onto the stick of Grant Lloyd. Goes back to Stark. Stark unable to get that through, but he goes back behind his net to regroup. He's going to backhand it up to right winger Connor Wilson. Wilson's going to hand it, man, it off the stick of Blake Paris. Paris right back to number 8, Connor Wilson. It's going to be left here high in the zone. Blake Paris is going to try and push it further. Comes back to the point to Grant Loya. Loya down to Wilson. Wilson tried to move it to Paris back door, unable to get it through though. Freshly off the bench, number 74, Easton Mormon. Now tries to curl back in. We're under 10 to go here in the third period. 9:54 off the right skid, Easton Borman. As Blake Paris now carries it in. It's going to be Connor Wilson trying to dance around a couple of guys. He delays. He's going to send it back door to Easton Borman. Goes over his stick, though. Behind the net, applying some pressures. Blake Paris, he loses an edge, crashes into the wall. He's slow to get up. As Bay State's looking to transition this to some offense. They're going to bring it back to center. Good back check there by Connor Wilson. Pens are making a change behind the play. As it's going to be brought back in by Boyle. Long shift here for him. He's going to be pushed to the wall nicely by Easton Borman. 9 minutes to go now in the third period. As a puck battle here in the near half wall. It's going to go to the tape of Frankenfield. Gets it around Boyle, but comes right back as it's pushed down deep. Welch is going to come over from his deep position. Gets a good stick into it. Moves it up to Wilson. As the Pens are going back into the offensive zone. But puck's going to be turned over here in the neutral zone. Welch is going to step up now right at the Penguins bench. As 22 is going to dance around a couple of guys. Welch gets a stick into break up that play. It's now behind the net. Welch is being chased. He's hauled down. Nothing called. As no penalties have been called so far today. 8:10 to go. A lot of bodies have been hitting the ground. But the Pens have the 3-1 lead, getting the better of it right now. 8:02 to go in the third as the Pens have it deep in the zone. That's Bingham Green, number 19. Tries to move to Ferguson. That's picked off. Stepping down from his point position, it's number 43, Grant Loya. Deflects off of a Bay State stick all the way back into the Penn zone, but CJ Navais trying to swing it up to Owen Mulligan. He's tied up now. Goes into the skates, the official to the stick of 77, Navais. Tries to push it up the wall. It's going to be picked off here by number 7, Smith. Smith centering a pass off the stick of Loya. He's able to block that shot attempt, though, and out of the zone. Good work there by Owen Mulligan. It's going to be brought here towards the Penguin bench. Number 7 is going to try Nenavisa once again. As Bingham Green tries to wheel around a couple of bodies. 7 comes out of there with it. Centering attempt once again broken up. Loy has a stick lifted, though, as Bay State still has possession here in the Pens D zone. As Loy's going to put it off the back wall. And Green fans on the clearing attempt. Tries to get it back. Still on his stick. He loses the puck now. Pens having some trouble here getting it out of their zone. Mulligan finally just takes it and rims it off the boards and almost hits his dad with the puck. That's assistant coach Billy Mulligan had to duck out of the way of that. As we have 6:47 now to go in the third period. 3-1 the score. Sawyer Phillips loses his puck. As it's going to be rimmed around behind Max Dragosik to Wyatt Frankenfield. Frankenfield loses it to number 73. Centering pass dangerously goes in front. Defended nicely by a couple of Pens forwards that were back in their zone. And it's going to be thrown right back into the Pens D zone. But ahead of the play, they had 2 Bay State breaker players. So offsides is the call. 6:24 to go. Coming to you live from the Holiday Twin Rinks just outside of Buffalo, New York. Quarterfinal matchup. Easton Borman's going to swing it off the stick of Brooks Kowarski. And back into the Pens D zone now as Nico Stark gets things going back up into the offensive zone. Goes all the way back to Wyatt Frankenfield. Is going to go back and pick up the mail. He's going to be run into. Takes a shot to the head as Borman's going to be pulled down. Nothing called. Well, we are going to get a goal here. 73 pulls down Easton Borman. So the Pens going to have their first power play of the game. Up 3-1, 5:44 to go. Faceoff's going to be going back to CJ Navisa. He loses the puck. Foot race here between Welch and Boyle. Can Welch catch Boyle? He does get a stick on it. Goes wide of the net. Juicy rebound goes wide. As the Pens are going to go back here on the attack, Connor Wilson's going to try a curl move. Nope, he's going to push it along further. He's got an open backdoor play. Tries to hit Paris just off of his stick. It's going to come back to the point man. That's Noah Welch. Welch is going to swing it right back down the wall. 5:17 now to go. 3-1 the score. As Boyle's going to push it back to center. It goes behind the Bay State player. It's going to be just punched in deep here. Boyle's going to go in against Nenavisa. Pens here with 1:17 of power play time as it's going to be pushed up to Blake Paris. Paris has the 3-on-1 developing. Welch is going to join here with Wilson, but it's going to go by everyone. No, they're going to wave off the icing call. As it comes back to the neutral zone, it's the stick of CJ Nenavisa. He wills it off the wall to Owen Mulligan. As we are under 5 to go here in the third period. Pens with a 2-goal lead, 3-1, as it goes back behind Max Dragosic. Nico Stark, Pens defender, is going to be run into. Easton Borman tries to help him out. Now on the stick of Grant Loya, Loya to Borman. It's going to be deflected once again by Owen. Left winger Owen Mulligan deflects it and it goes into the Pens bench. This time nearly hitting Coach Nenavisa. So to reset, 3-1 the score, 4:12 to go. Pens have a power play for the next 29 seconds. Easton Borman steps in for this draw. He wins it cleanly back to number 7, Nico Stark, off the stick of Owen Mulligan. And it's going to go further into the Pens D zone, or offensive zone, as Bingham Green applies some pressure. He separates a man from the puck. Mulligan tries a centering attempt. Comes all the way back to the left point, where Nico Stark's going to walk in. Tries a pass off the stick of Mulligan. Nico Stark in deep now. Hits Easton Borman. Fanning on that shot attempt is Bingham Green. As Bay State, they're going to be careful here. They're going to have somebody coming out of the box. 7 dances around Loya. He comes down the left side. Shot taken outside of the net and covered up by goaltender Max Dragosic. D-zone face-off coming up. Late stages of the game now. 3:36 to go. Pens have a 3-1 lead. Thanks to goals from Paris, Ferguson, and Phillips today. Riker Ferguson steps in for this draw against big centerman number 87, and he wins that, swings it over to Welch. Welch up to Phillips. Phillips is going to skate this out of danger now into the neutral zone. Phillips is going to bounce this wide. Tries to hit Brooks Gaworski in the slot, as it's going to be an outlet pass here as they're going to come back to center. Welch is danced around, backdoor pass. Welch is going to stop this up now. He falls down off of Welch's backside and high in the slot now. As it's going to go deep behind netminder number 39 now, as Bay State's trying to transition some offense. Comes to the stick of Grant Loya now. Now has it on the half wall. Bay State swings it up over the stick of Grant Loya. That should be long enough for icing. And it is an icing call. So all the way back down to the Bay State side of the ice. We will go 2:28 now to go in the third period. Offensive zone faceoff. Looks like it will be taken by number 74, Easton Borman. He's going to be flanked by Connor Wilson and Blake Paris. And Loya and Nenavisa going to round out the D pairing. Borman wins this ahead, pushes it over to Blake Paris, unable to get a shot through as it deflects off of a couple of bodies. Bay State here showing some urgency as they're trying to move the troops up into the Pens offensive zone. They dance around Nenavisa. Centering pass attempt goes off the stick. Good stick there by Grant Loya to push it up Unable to get that further, though, as number 7 danced around Loya. Shot taken, blocker saved by Dragicic. As Bay State's going to have a too many men call here. As they had a guy step off the ice as the goaltender was going to the bench. Nope, not going to be called that. Now they're going to say it's an inadvertent whistle. They had an extra man step onto the ice, so the goalie was still in the crease. So it looks like they're getting the soft gloves are on, and they're just getting a warning. As we're now under 2 to go. As the Pens are going to be in ahead of the play. Offsides is the call. Neutral zone faceoff is going to be won back to the Pens D zone. Number 7 now has it behind the net. Another whistle. As the same thing happened once again. As they put the extra man on before the goalie got close to the bench. So we're getting another, I guess this is just warning number 2. As we now have 1:33 to go in the third period. As it comes back to the stick of Sawyer Phillips. Pens with a 3-1 lead. 1:22 now to go. As this is going to go back into the Bay State zone. As they transition it right back to the stick of Wyatt Frankenfield. Hal has it. Puck's going to be turned over to number 7. 7's going to come in. He's got a man in the slot. Decides to go around the net. He's going to curl all the way back to the point man. 22. Net is now empty. 6-on-5 advantage here for Bay State. It's going to be swung back toward number 19. Shot taken off the left glove of Max Dragicic. As it's going to be pushed just out of the zone now by Sawyer Phillips. 49 to play. 3-1 the lead here for the Pens. It's going to go out of the zone here. Offsides is the call. And I believe Bay State might be not going to take their timeout. Now they are. Coach Brian Boyle, assistant coach, signals the T as they're going to take a timeout here to set up. 48 seconds to go, third period action. Pens are going to have an empty net, an empty cage yawning at them here in the quarterfinal round of the 2025 Buffalo Cup. All right, neutral zone faceoff is dropped here as Bay State has an empty cage, but they had 2 guys in ahead of the play. 4 seconds tick off the clock, 43 to go. Late in the game, Connor Wilson is going to step in to take this draw, flanked by Fergie and Paris on the backside, Nenevise and Welch. It's going to be Paris that's going to try and push this in. He hits center red, dumps it deep, 37, 36, 35 to go now in the game. It's going to be pushed up off the wall. Welch is going to get to this puck. He's going to throw it right back down the wall. And behind 24 now to go in the game. As brought back to center red. Goes off the stick of Welch. It's going to be bounced wide by number 19. As good stick by CJ Nenevise is going to separate his man from the puck. But it goes to number 7, 11 to go. Number 7 now has it. He's going to try to throw it back to the point man. Deflects off the equipment of guess who? Blake Paris, and the Pens are going to be victorious here as it's going to be shot into the empty net after the final horn. And the Pens are going to advance to the semifinal round, defeating the Bay State Breakers by a score of 3-1. They gave up the first goal and have 3 unanswered here. So we'll have to wait and see who, I believe we're going to play the winner of the 2-7 matchup, which I think is Middlesex. I'm not sure who they're playing there in their game. So it'll be coming to you shortly here.